Hello, ye lads and lasses, and anyone in between. For those of you who don't know me, my name is KP, otherwise known as Sir Legolas Lad, and welcome to my first video here on the YouTube. For this video, I wanted to kind of get an introduction of myself, to the channel, and what you can be expecting from here. As you can see, my hands are a little different, and for some reason, my channel name is Sir Legolas Lad. Why is that? Because my legs are detachable. So in this video we're going to be talking about how that happened and what kind of things I've done in my life that have brought me up to this point, and how I kind of go through life as a double amputee with hand deformities. Here we see Keith after his birth. He's so cute, isn't he? I was born with my hands and feet and everything. Everything looked normal, no signs of anything that could possibly be wrong. But what my family didn't realize at the time is that I was actually born without a spleen. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with what a spleen is, it's part of the immune system, and it kind of helps to get rid of your old blood cells, and it's not as important as an adult, but it does most of its work when you're young. So basically, without a spleen, part of my immune system was missing from an early age. The first 9 months, it was smooth sailing. Absolutely no signs of anything wrong until I was 9 months old. Now, when I was 9 months old, it was in December when everyone gets sick, basically. And this was also when I guess I was being weaned off of breastfeeding, so that meant that I wasn't getting the antibodies from my mom anymore, and so it was kind of all up to my own body now. And so during this time I got a really bad infection. My mom said that the first sign of me not doing too well was me falling asleep in the middle of a party at a time when I wouldn't usually be taking a nap. Things just didn't get better after that, and it got bad really quickly. I guess at a certain point my lips started turning blue, and my mom took my temperature and it was 106. And my mom's friend, she just thought the thermometer was broken, because what kind of baby is going to have a temperature of 106? At this point, my parents took me to the emergency room. So at this point, they still don't know that I don't have a spleen, and I'm just getting sicker and sicker, and so I am transferred into the pediatric intensive care unit. So the doctors put me into a medically induced coma immediately, because they knew that it was a really bad infection. And they actually told my parents that they weren't even sure if I was gonna make it through the night. Spoiler alert, I made it through the night. So I'm just gonna put a content warning right here. I am gonna be putting pictures of me in the hospital at this point. So if you are squeamish or don't feel like seeing a baby that is in a medically induced coma, I would suggest skipping to the time that I'm gonna put right here. In order for my body to try and save itself, it cut off the circulation to my extremities. So my arms and legs, hands and feet turned black and like purple. You know, just, it was like, we need to save the internal organs, get rid of everything else. And I had tubes coming in and out of me everywhere. So it was just pandemonium. After a month, I was getting better, and so they took me out of the medically induced coma, but I was still in the PICU for another 2 months after that. And so I had a lot of surgeries during that time so that I could get skin grafts and, you know, try and focus on saving the parts of me that were left to save, basically. Since I got sick in December, my first Christmas, I was in a coma. You know, there was a month of that and then another 2 months, so I actually spent my first birthday was in the hospital, which from what I hear was a very fun party, because they were very excited that I even made it to them. I don't remember this because I was 1. Here are some pictures from my birthday party, my very first birthday party. Since that point, I've had a lot of surgeries to try and regain function in what I have left Altogether, I've had the grand total of 25 surgeries. Most of them have been orthopedic stuff. So believe it or not, I did not get my feet amputated right away. That was actually later when I was probably about 2 or 3, and they were on separate occasions. Basically, I still had feet. I think I was missing a couple toes, but the foot was mostly there. But the problem that happened was the infection affected my ankles so badly that there wasn't really an ankle joint there anymore. Basically, when I stood up, my leg bones were going into soft tissue instead of bone or an ankle joint. The doctors gave my parents the choice of, well, he can either keep his feet and be in a wheelchair at all times, or, he can have his feet amputated and he can have prosthetic legs. They went with the second choice, which I'm very thankful for, because I am able to pretty much do anything that I want to. I might have to make a few adjustments here and there, but I can get around just fine with these. And I've had them for as long as I can remember, so it's not like I had to all of a sudden learn how to do everything differently. I did, but it was at a time when you were learning everything new anyway. Most people have issues with walking with prosthetics, but not me. Apparently, I got them on and it was like, I just went. I didn't even let them finish to make them look nice because I didn't want to take them off because I was just going. And so actually, I learned how to walk 3 times because I learned how to walk with 2 feet, and then I learned how to walk with 1 foot, and then I learned how to walk with no feet. And I don't know, I was so young that I don't remember it at all. And 2, like I said, it's at a time when you're learning everything anyway, so it wasn't too weird for me to switch gears, I guess. Now, a really interesting surgery was when I think it was my left foot amputated. So that was my longest surgery, and that was my 10-hour surgery. But this was my longest surgery because what happened was they took my foot off. They took a part of it and they put it on my hand. So this right here is my foot. And these things right here, those are toes. Those are the only 2 toes that I have. This is the bottom of the foot. I think you can kind of see how it looks like the foot. And so I'm so glad that they did that one because I'm left-handed. So they put it there so I could have something to grip with because there was nothing there before. Yeah, that was my most notable surgery. I'm not going to do a play-by-play of all of the surgeries because 1, that would take forever. And 2, I don't remember all of them. There's too many. When you have 25 surgeries, you don't remember all of them. Especially when they were happening when you were like 2 and 3. And pretty much every year after that. That initial infection did more than just affect the outside. It affected the inside too, a little bit. Luckily, most of my organs were saved. They were fine. But the ones that were not so lucky were my kidneys. Now, your kidneys are very important for filtering out your blood. They're actually what makes you pee. Like, literally, your kidneys make pee. During that initial infection in the hospital, my kidneys completely shut down. Like, nothing going on there. And then as I started getting better, they improved, and I started getting more of the function back of them, but it never came completely back. So when I was 14, right after my 14th birthday, I got a kidney transplant. I'll show you that scar. That's my most impressive scar, probably. And so this long scar right here, that's Melody. That's what I named my kidney. That's Melody. She's right there. I just had an appointment, and Melody's doing great after 13 years. We're happy with how things are going right now. And so that's kind of the short story of how I came to be like this. I feel like this one was kind of a downer, I promise, and the rest of my videos are going to be fun. But I knew people were going to be asking me questions, so I'm like, why not just get this out of the way? I decided to start this channel because I just get a lot of questions about my everyday life, and the way that I go through life is not something that everybody knows about. I mean, that sounds weird to say it, like, I wanted to talk about me. But I think I really wanted to educate people on what it's like to be disabled in the world. I mean, I've had this my whole life. Like, does that just mean I'm a potato that's on the couch all the time? Now, I am a potato on the couch all the time, but that's by choice. That's not because I have to be. I just wanted to expose more people to what it's really like to have a disability and know that it's not something that has to affect you negatively. It's an obstacle, yes. I mean, obviously I have to do things differently than everybody else, but most of the time I don't even think about how I'm doing things differently because it's the way that I've always done it. It may be different for you, but for me it's normal. If you're curious, you can ask questions. Be respectful, please. I mean, don't just be like, yo, what happened to you? Dude, that's weird. Don't say that, please. As long as you're being respectful of people and who they are, then it's okay to ask questions. And especially with younger kids are gonna ask questions. I know that it's not coming from a bad place, it's more out of curiosity, and I'm okay with people coming up to me to ask questions. And most people who are disabled probably will be, because they would prefer that to shh. Everybody has a different experience, but that's kind of a general thing that I've heard from the disabled community. So if you have any questions in particular about how I do things or how I function through different places in the world, make sure to comment them down below. This is meant as kind of an educational opportunity. It would be helpful for you to let me know what you want to know so that I can tell you. Otherwise, it's just me talking to my camera in an empty room for no reason. So, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Make sure to ring the bell so you can get notifications every time I post a new video. I post a video every Thursday. Mark it on your calendars. It's coming in. And so with that, thank you for watching. Sir Legless Lad out.